Hey, what's up? Welcome to day 2. So, it's currently 11:20 p.m. when I'm recording this, and by the time it uploads, it'll definitely be Friday, but that's okay because I'm recording it on today. I got notes, so you're gonna see me glance down because there's a lot of things that I want to make sure that I remember to say in this video. And the fact that it took me so long to get here right now is a part of the story of today's video. Okay, so let's get into it. I was afraid to come back here. So in yesterday's video, I mentioned how it was kind of nerve-wracking to me that I didn't really know 100% all of the things that I would be talking about. Like, I had no idea what was going to be day 2's video. Like, just, I only knew what I recorded in the moment, and it was so interesting. However, this morning on my way to work, I was like praying about it. I was like, God, like, I'm doing this challenge. I trust you. What are we doing? Like, what are we doing? And just left it there, prayed about the other things on my heart, and then kept it moving and went about my day. On my drive home, God reminded me of something. And he reminded me of the Israelites in the Bible and how when they were in the wilderness, he provided their daily manna. That in the moments when they tried to hold on to things to preserve it for another day, it deteriorated and they couldn't eat it. And like, God provided for each and every day. And he just gave me this reassurance that, like, the same way that he provided for the Israelites in their quest to the promised land is the same way that he's going to provide for me along this journey. And so it's super exciting to like now sit here in the way that I was so nervous at the start of today of trying to figure out of like, okay, God, well, what am I supposed to do? Like, there was so much excitement that I felt coming out of day 1's video. Now day 2's here, and I actually got to see this thing through. Like, I truly, truly want to see this through to completion. How in the world are we going to get to 100 from here? And so it was such an interesting thought process that God was having me on, and it reminded me of my juicing business. I remember at one point being frustrated almost with God of like, God, why did you give me this business where juice has an expiration date? The best shelf life is 3 to 5 days if it's pure juice. Not if you freeze it, if you have it in the refrigerator, 3 to 5 days. I said, God, like, why you gave me this business with this short shelf life? And he said, I feel like he impressed on my heart because that requires you to stay at my feet, to understand exactly how much you should be taking to events or how much you should be producing or what strategies you should put in place. And you can't walk out in your own strength. And so in the same way that my juice business, he provides daily manna opportunities, I believe that he's going to do the same thing here in the lessons that he is teaching me to be able to share and document in this space. And so in that, it's going to be an interesting journey of my growth in my relationship with God and being able to document those experiences in this space. And even in the like short couple of days that I've really been committed to like leaning into this challenge and going on this journey, it's been beautiful to see how it's shown up in my life in the way that I am like genuinely excited and refreshed to create content in this season in a way that I don't think I've ever been this on fire naturally like this before. And just having just different ideas and just figuring out with God, where do they all fit into the larger puzzle? And it's super exciting. Or even just like the moments of confirmation with friends and conversations or videos that come across my feed that answer questions that I haven't even spoken out loud, or and solve things or spark new ideas. And so it's super exciting to go on this journey and to see how God is going to take what is just seedlings in the beginning of this journey and turn it into a beautiful masterpiece by the end of this journey, and even beyond that further. And so as I was driving home and I was like just thinking about that and praying about that, I kept hearing fan the flame. And I was like, fan the flame? Like, what in the world? Like, what is that? And I Googled it. And I was just like, fan the flame Bible. Like, I don't know. Like, what does that mean? And what actually popped up is 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 6. And then I instantly realized, I was like, oh, verse 7 is also a very popular one. So I'm going to take a second and read it, and then I'm going to bring some things together. So this is the New King James Version. For this reason I remind you to fan into flame the gift of God, which is in you through the laying on of my hands. For the Spirit God gave us does not make us timid, but gives us power, love, and self-discipline. Okay, so this is Peter talking to Timothy. And Timothy is somebody that I always really just resonate with because of his age. He was always insecure about his age and fulfilling the assignment that God set forward for him in the earth. And it was just so interesting to me that God impressed on my heart, fan the flame, fan the gifts that I am cultivating in you in this season, and just lean into the process. Lean into what I'm doing in you, what I'm doing through you, and trust that it is all going to be for a greater vision that ultimately God understands and knows what he is trying to do. And so I'm excited. And so it's just funny that a few things happened this evening that created this fear moment on the inside of me. And it's so interesting because of the fact that God planted the seed of 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 6 and 7 earlier this afternoon. And then later this evening, I walked through and just was having to worship and pray about this feeling of fear of what was to come and some next steps and things that are happening, and just having to surrender these moments back to God. And that is what the fanning of the flame looks like. There's some moments where it's going to be this level of excitement and joy and anticipation of what's going to happen. And there's some moments where it's like, God, I need you to take this fear away from me and replace it with your strength, your love, your joy, your power, your self-control. It's just, it excites me to think about the duality of God, that the both, and that he can sit in both sets of feelings with me. And so I am excited to think about what day 2 looks like as I fan the flame and surrender the emotions to God in real time and allow him to take over. Instead of allowing fear to smother what God is doing in and through my life. And so, fan the flame. The joy, the excitement of what God is doing in your life, allow that to breathe and to grow on the inside of you. Don't let fear win, because fear is not of God. Fear stops us from pursuing everything that God has called and created us to be. Fan the flame and lean into who God is calling and creating you to be in this season. That is day 2 of a journey of 100 days of me showing up consistently, getting uncomfortable, sharing things, sharing what I'm learning in the moment, even if it may not be perfect. It's things that I'm chewing on and learning from, in hopes that maybe you'll be able to glean something from it. I'm somebody who thrives in community and loves chatting with people on the internet, especially. I don't know why, but I just love it. So if you catch this video, whenever you catch it, drop something in the comments. Let me know what your thoughts are on the topic. What does it look like in your life? Where is fear trying to show up in your life? In an area, let's say, in what area of your life is fear trying to show up, and what are you doing to counteract that? Where are you having to apply more faith in your life to believe what God said about you? Until next time, peace.